So I've seen too many people buy equipment that they don't actually need, or even spend way too much, like when they actually don't need it. Or they get super frustrated by that new equipment that they get that's supposed to be the high tech and get them the things they want. Well, let me tell you, you're buying things wrong because you haven't actually sat down and gone through the proper order and how to purchase equipment and to fit it to your needs. Today, we're actually going to go through that really quickly. So the first thing you need to do is write down all of the needs, like actual needs based on your workflow and also your clients and what they're actually paying for right now. Are they actually paying for 4K 60 frames per second videos? Like, are they, or are you just really wanting that? Or as a solo creator, do you actually need 32-bit flow when you're handling your own recordings? Like, do you not? Does it really matter? Do you know how to work the system instead? Or is it a knowledge-based problem? So all of these different things, you need to sit down and actually be honest with yourself and say, hey, is this an actual need of mine? Or is it something that I just kind of wish for? Go through all of that and write down all of your needs that you need. So the second step is actually figuring out quantity. This is figuring out how long am I going to need this product for? Again, this will look different for every single person. For example, if you're a beginner, you might look at things and see like, hey, maybe I'll purchase it like a camera for like a year to see if I like this hobby and I want to like turn it into something more. So in case if you don't like it, you're out a minimum amount of money versus a lot. Whereas a professional is going to be like, hey, I'm going to be using this camera possibly for the next 3 to 5 years. So if I'm going to spend some money, I got to make it worth it. That will help decide whether you go like in a certain price range, whether it be smaller or larger, depending on how many products you're going to buy over your lifetime. All right, and then the final step is actually figuring out quality. This is where most people start and actually stumble on. They look for the brand new technology, you know, like Sony just released the A7S III, like, woo, gotta get that. Not necessarily. So what does quality even mean to you? It'll look different for every single person. A beginner will look at quality and be like, I just need it to be able to record stuff on. I just want to experiment and learn. Whereas a professional is going to be like, hey, I'm producing award-winning content. I need this to always work. I need it to be this versatile, everything like that. So quality looks very different. Don't be afraid to buy it used. Just because it's quote-unquote used doesn't mean it's bad or broken in any way. Like, in fact, it saves you some money and it can help give you better equipment that's more for your needs for less money. For example, when I first started out, I bought mostly used equipment and just because I could experiment on it and get a lot more for a cheaper price. Once I figured out my tastes and my wants and what was giving me results, I began buying more equipment to help fulfill my needs and give me a longer lasting product. Another thing to consider is how much wiggle room does it have to grow? For example, you don't want to buy something that's so out of your league that you have no idea what in the world's going on. Like handing an RE, one of those big RE cameras, to a beginner and saying good luck. Like, you're not going to do that to yourself. You have the potential to grow like crazy with that camera, but the learning curve is extremely steep. I use a Swiss Army knife as an example. It's great to have a multi-tool that does a lot of different functions, but if you don't know how to use each one properly, why would you buy it? You would buy a simple knife instead and learn how to use that one tool correctly and then build from there. So I hope you take these 3 steps and apply them in your workflow so you can begin to maximize your profits for better use of upgrading and getting new equipment. It's kind of fun. I mean, that's half the reason we're in this profession, right?